Okay. Good morning, everyone. We welcome you all in this first webinar on newly developed platform for distress test by M-Junction. In this session, we would like to demonstrate the platform, its benefit, which you as an insolvency professional can leverage. To give you the background, we all know that IBBI is responsible for implementing code for reorganization and insolvency resolution of partnership firms and others in a time-bound manner for maximizing value of assets, availability of credit, and balance the interest of all stakeholders. It's a unique regulator, regulates a profession as well as process. You, the insolvency professionals, who is the key pillar of this code, is the link between authorities, stakeholders like debtors, creditors, financials, as well as operational and resolution applicants. So it is important that IP discharge his or her responsibilities effectively and most importantly, transparently. The objective of the IBBI can be achieved only if the insolvency resolution and the other transactions are accomplished in a time-bound manner. With this objective, the IBBI has empaneled M-Junction for providing an online platform for distressed assets that the IPs can leverage to improve performance and most importantly, the compliance as well. The platform developed by M-Junction has gone live and ready for use. The platform complies all requirements of IBBI and is audited and certified by STQC. STQC, an independent body under Department of Electronics. With this background, I would like to introduce our speakers. Mr. Sudhakar Shukla. Mr. Shukla took charge as a whole-time member IBBI from November 2019. He has served as a member of the Indian Economic Service for over 34 years in various capacities across ministries and Department of Government of India, such as Economic Advisor in the Ministry of Rural Development, Advisor in African Development Bank, Tunis, representing India, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland. He is currently looking after research and regulation wing comprising corporate insolvency, corporate liquidation, individual insolvency, individual bankruptcy, and many more areas. We welcome Mr. Shukla. Thank you, sir, for giving us your valuable time. Also, we'll be having Mr. Pankaj Mittal. He has not joined yet, but he'll be joining soon. Mr. Mittal is our Chief Operating Officer, who is industry veteran, having working experience in Tata Steel, Jindal, expert in SAP, is also with us and in the panel list. But Mr. Mittal will not be the speaker. Mr. Dipankar Mukherjee is the Chief of Marketing and Sales, who had been associated with TCS for more than 22 years and was leading Tata Steel UK at TCS, is also with us in the panel. So it's that this session is so important that two of our senior management team members has taken up their time and decided to participate in this webinar. Our second speaker is the Mr. Manish Mathur. He is member of our senior management team. Mr. Mathur has an extensive experience in procurement, electronic procurement, and online auction space. He has worked on several prestigious projects like Spectrum auction for Department of Telecommunication, tendering of oil blocks for Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, auction for meteorites for BCCI. And most interestingly, during this process of accreditation by IBBI, Mr. Mathur understood the importance of the issues that the insolvency professional face. Accordingly, he has cleared the insolvency exam in October 2020. And just like you, Dear IPs, he has also registered insolvency professional since February 2021. Welcome, Mr. Mathur.
Thank you.
Mr. Kaushik Nandi, he is our product specialist and a senior analyst having 15 plus years of experience, who has led the team during development, testing, completed the empanelment process. He will talk about three services offered by mJunction. One is virtual data room. Second is invitation and evaluation of resolution plan. And third is marketplace for interim finance. Welcome, Kaushik. And our last speaker would be Mr. Mihir Gandhi. Mihir Gandhi is a business head of the vertical engaged in sales of idle asset and agri commodities. He is specialist in market making, forward auction strategies, and successful selling of idle assets. Mr. Gandhi will cover the auction process during liquidation. And last, myself, Parthakumar Chakravarti, the host. I'm heading the procurement service business unit and will be hosting this session. We welcome all the speakers. Now, with this context, I would like to invite Mr. Sukla for your opening remarks, and also please share your thoughts, please. Over to you, Mr. Shukla.
Thank you, Mr. Partho and Mr. Kaushik Nandi and Manish Kumar and other dignitaries which are participating as a panelist. It is indeed a privilege to be part of this initiative taken by mJunction today. And it draws from the fact that digitization process under the code and especially PDA has been a thought which was taking shape 2 years back, and we were like from the day one when I joined this IBBI, I was especially asked by then Chairman Dr. Sahu that this is a slow moving item and we urgently needed to see that market efficiencies and process efficiencies drive the whole processes of the IBC. So this is how my involvement with this started, and I have pleasure to say that not one, we have two platforms ready to compete with each other and deliver the best possible services in moving forward. I would be sharing some thoughts actually mostly related to PDA, but PDA in the context of IBC and the macroeconomic situation, how we perceive. As you know that when we talk about economic reforms, high on agenda is basically that it should not be like economic reforms unaccompanied with the technological inputs, because then the delivery is hampered and slow. So that is why we always said that economic reforms have to come with the technological solutions to promote efficiency and reduce the transaction cost. And this is what all we targeting through this PDA platform in nutshell. Basically, if you see the economic imperatives when we work with reforms, basically economics tells us that this capital output ratio, and also some of you have studied economics, then this production possibility curve movement to right is always associated with technological advancement, better usage of the inputs, so that you get same production from lesser inputs, or maybe more production with same inputs. So this is possible through technological intervention, and that is why in neoclassical paradigm actually these capital output ratio, which are the test for efficiency drive, have got so prominence in the overall architecture of the economic theory propounded by them. So in the coming to the code, actually, if you see, it's economic law, and it is a living economic law evolving over a period of time. You have seen 6 amendments already, and we talk about 6 amendments in the code, but we forget that we have made 80 amendments in the regulations actually, and regulation amendments are all targeted towards efficiency and efficiency in the processes. So you can see whenever there is a need for plugging the gaps in the processes, we are trying to see that we bring the current regulatory intervention to drive the process in an efficient manner. So this is the focus of the code, and that's what we are carrying forward in our zeal to demonstrate and develop the distressed asset market on competitive lines in the country. What we have seen already, we said in the code, if there is a financial distress, then we try to resolve the company. And resolving the company is the highest priority because restructuring has been mentioned as a first objective of the code, while liquidation is a default. Like it is, if you don't succeed with resolving the company, then only as a last resort liquidation chips in. So that is why we say financial stress, when a company is facing a financial distress due to endogenous factors like mismanagement and other things, our target is to get it resolved. And that is to get it resolved expeditiously, PDA becomes very important. And it would be like if it is companies undergoing economic stress due to exogenous factors, and you see there are so many compelling reasons. Market demand has evaporated, and there is no demand for the product. There is no innovation going on in the product side of the company. Then that company actually is in a serious trouble and needs to be out of the market, and this is needed to be liquidated. So this liquidation again, PDA platforms becomes very important when we say the auction of liquidation of liquidation estate through the platform. So efficient driving in both these cases become very important. Third aspect basically came very recently with the COVID, is more related to force measure issues, where you have seen that you cannot ascribe it to as a endogenous factor or exogenous factor. It is a like overarching effect was that markets were going down, demand was going down, and force major conditions were such that they needed even suspension of the code for a year. So those are the extraordinary situation. But if you see the manner which we have responded to COVID through electronic means and platforms and IT solutions, V-shaped recovery is very much on anvil. So this has created a opportunity in disguise, but it also shows that we were ready to switch to IT platforms more efficiently than we ever thought. And COVID gave this opportunity to shift and try to demonstrate that we can function as business as usual, even in the extreme conditions of COVID. And this is what, again, platform is very important in the sense when you are not able to hold a COC meeting, you are not even able to collect the information from the field. The platform actually can facilitate all the inputs from the comfort of the home, and you can still drive the process without any hitches or glitches in the system. So that kind of comfort PDA comes and brings to deal with the extreme conditions as posed by COVID also. So this is how PDA becomes very important in all the three segments of distress which we have contemplated in the IBC so far. So this is the first part why we should try to develop efficient PDA. The second big issue dealing with PDA is plugging the gaps in the gaps in the form of information asymmetries. This is basically a key, because if you are saying you have to develop a market which is on the competitive lines, then information asymmetry in the market of this distress asset market has to go. And that is why we thought information asymmetry can be tackled only through instruments like PDA, which has a access world over, where from investors and participants from different jurisdiction and even inside, they would be keenly interested to participate and try to see that what kind of assets are in offer, and what value enhancement to their perspective can be brought about through these PDAs. So this information asymmetry, BLRC report, which we have said all the time that it's a Bible of the insolvency regime. It also said that as information asymmetry is the major thing which has to be tackled very delicately in handling the IBC processes. So this is, I thought, information asymmetry is the second point where you will be seeing that more and more efforts are going in, and PDA, when it comes in, brings more value on the table in terms of addressing this issue. Code is very clear that information asymmetry is to be addressed, and also it provides for IT interventions to bring in process efficiencies. So it is PDA is not hanging in the air. Actually, it has the backing of the code through various provisions which say that your information asymmetry and the process efficiencies are the major concerns to be addressed in the market. So this is the second aspect which is important. Third, which is linked to earlier two, is the how to preserve the value of the assets, and this is value maximization is another objective of the code. And when we are talking about value maximization, we all know that if you take time in completing the process, the value of that asset goes down dramatically. And there are so many cases to cite where the value has deteriorated over a period of time due to litigation or process delays, and we were not able to meet the objective of value maximization, which is enshrined in the code at the top. So this is one issue. If you have to achieve value maximization goal, then process efficiency has to be fostered and delivered. And for this, again, we know that PDA would be very helpful in streamlining the processes and cutting the delays considerably on that front, so that your results, which we aimed at, and the code provides for it to complete the processes in 330 days, but we are not able to do so far, would be like a reality if we follow the follow the PDA and the dispensation under it. So that definitely this is a useful tool for preservation of value and fostering efficiencies in the processes. And then you see the fourth aspect is how to bring in perfect competitive market structure in the distressed assets. Basically, we have seen that entry point, there is a fair degree of competition. Any economic unit wants to come in, it has to be has the environment to enter and at free will, and also with competition it can survive the ongoing processes of market driven solutions for its product and the profit. But when it comes to exit, it was like only in 2016 when government came with this IBC, this credible option of exit came in. So this exit actually becomes important in development of distressed asset markets, and PDA actually uh, facilitates it in many ways. How? The first thing is I already mentioned addressing the information asymmetries. Second is it also like brings about a large number of participants, people who demand the asset, people who supply the asset at one platform, so that you have a like market conditions which are conducive for discovery of fair value. And then you have also the issue of fostering low cost of transaction. So transaction cost reduction is a major issue. Even if you see this ease of doing business as published by World Bank from time to time, cost of transaction is an important parameter which goes into consideration when any rank is provided. Our ranks have improved in leaps and bounds, and our cost of transaction has been also on lower side. But still, I think we have to work more, that to be best in the world, we have to see that cost of transaction costs have to come to the minimum. And the fifth and the last, I think, issue related to this PDA would be how to nudge all the stakeholders to bring about a holistic solution. I think more of the concentration I heard earlier also from the TM Junction team. Basically, it is targeting IPs and resolution plans. And in the one side of it, from the supply side metrics, it is targeting, but demand side nudging actually of RAs is missing in the platform, and that is why I advise them that why not to have a like opening landing page where they can have access that these many at macro level, these many assets are under resolution and these many assets are under liquidation, so that prospective RAs can be interested to participate in this process, and they can move and make a credible selection of their choice and try to participate into the whole process later by identifying a particular company in which they are interested. So I think this platform should have balanced approach to all the stakeholders. It is stakeholders are IP, which we are targeting today. There are interim finance providers also, which also I think your this platform provides for, and prospective RAs I said, and also the service providers. Why not? If we are hosting information, then we can host a list where the service providers say that we are available and our expertise is this. If IP wants to make a selection from these service providers, he can make it. Why not? So you have a complete gambit of the whole market in one place, so that when PTA finally takes shape outside the resolution plans, then these are the services in the plus mode you can target, so that you can see that all the market players have adequate information, and market asymmetry is growing. My last point would be basically I want to share that right now we are dealing with around 5,000 cases, and two PDAs. People may question the wisdom, why to PDA, where is the business? I can just to elaborate that right now, 10,000 cases are pending at the entry gate of AA. And this is very important because these would be eventually in short time would be coming into the market, coming into the system for resolution or liquidation. So these would be the sure ticket to be targeted, to be driven through PDA. And then again, when as the code already provides that we have to move to new frontiers as our systems mature, and government thinks and we think also that system is now matured for to go towards cross-border insolvency regime. And if cross-border insolvency regime and added with it is your group insolvency regime comes into play, then actually you have to see that your platform not only matches the requirement of domestic consumers, but also internationally, because their jurisdiction, cross jurisdiction comparison and the loading of data would require much of the expertise how to deal with the cross-border situations where COMI is located one where and substantial interest in some other jurisdiction, in our jurisdiction or other. So those linkages actually, and if it is a like a group insolvency issue, then how many companies, where they are located, maybe in the Cayman Island and Virgin Island, British Virgin Island. So you have to see that those things will also be very challenging in moving forward. And this is not a very distant future. It would be like this cross-border yeah, public consultation has already begun. So I don't think that it will take much time. But yes, the government has to take a call when to roll it out after the public consultation is completed by this month. So this is another area you have to see, that you have to be agile to see that you are developing in this direction. And the third is basically PPIRP. MSMEs actually have a different dispensation than regular resolution or liquidation. You have a tick size determination, you have best alternative plan, you have swift challenge, everything built into it. So your team which is there, I think, is competent enough to dovetail these requirements into the system and have a window for PPIRP. But that will be again, when you say COVID, COVID has impacted MSMEs hard, and they are disproportionately affected. So we expect there will be more rise in the insolvency among the MSMEs, and this option of PPIRP, which has slow started so far, but would be picking up in due course. So one has to be ready that your platform also provides solutions for this. So I think with this, I will just give a parting thought that PDA has to keep evolving. As the saying goes, static waters are sure recipe of ill health. So we should not be satisfied what we are able to accomplish, but try to see into the future and try to compete the international market. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your thought-provoking insights. In fact, you have touched upon the important aspects, that is efficiency in the process, and the primary aspect would be the resolving the company. Liquidation is obviously the last resort, but this is also an important step, bringing the efficiency in the process, streamlining the process, cutting the delay, creating a competitive structure, and reduction of the transaction cost. Yes, we know this is just a beginning. Right now, we are offering 4 services, but going forward, yes, all the expectation definitely will be met as we move forward. Thank you very much once again, sir. Now, I would like to move to Mr. Manish Mathur. He's a unique person. Ross understands the expectation of IP being a certified IP, as well as he has the knowledge of the platform, being part of the empanelment process since beginning till go live, the challenges faced by IPs and how they can be addressed to the platform. So we would like to hear from you, Mr. Mathur. Over to you, Mr. Mathur.
Good morning, all. First, I'd like to begin with the address of Mr. Shukla. He has outlined that there are very exciting times ahead for us. So, with the huge increase or huge expected increase in volume, there will be a lot of burden on all of us, and it is a burden of expectations, expectations that we will rise to the occasion and work hand in hand with the insolvency fraternity to ensure speed, efficiency, and reach. We are with you, dear insolvency professionals, all the way. And of course, I personally I have gone through the insolvency process. I have cleared the exam. I am registered as an IP. And so I will be here helping you to translate your requirements into the IT system in the best possible manner so that there is seamless integration and seamless working. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mathur. Now, I'd like to open this discussion to Kaushik. Kaushik will be presenting 3 services in the PPT form. Over to you, Kaushik.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I will concentrate more majorly on the service part, what we are offering through this PDA. So there are different aspects. First, what we are MGNC, we are a joint venture of Tata Steel and SAIL. Started its journey from 2001, and we are the largest B2B e-commerce company. We have got around 300K stakeholders, 900 professionals, 14 finance partners, and we are located in 42 locations globally. So this is our ecosystem basically. We are certified. We are ISO 9000 certified, ISO 27001, CMI development Dev 5 platform, and it is the platform itself with the STQC certified. So it is all the government rules and norms, transparency, data safety is maintained. Now directly moving to our platform, which we are offering, we are empaneled under IBPI as per the directive, as per the codes. We have developed this particular platform. Through this platform, we are offering 5 types of services. One, the virtual data room, CIRP process, PPIRP process, internal finance, and liquidation of assets. So just to give a brief, you know everyone what it is. Still, the virtual data room, it is a secure digital locker through which you can transfer the data between RA and IP in a secured manner. All the data should be encrypted in nature. If you are not authorized to download the data, you cannot. So once I'm sharing the data, only the authorized person can download the data. I will go into details in my later part. CIRP, Corporate Insolvency Professional Resolution. Through this service, in our PDA platform, you can float UI, you can publish RFRP. In the entire process, the RAs, they will submit their offer online. Evaluation will take place online. The COC committee can sit together in a virtual manner and they can give their opinion. And finally, you can come up with a fuller solution. So, as sir has rightly mentioned, this COVID scenario has enhanced, or this COVID scenario, this is basically a it's an eye-opener for us that in a virtual environment, how we can operate. This corporate CIRP plan, right now, most of the IPs, though they are operating on offline mode, they can come into a platform, they can onboard on our platform, and they can operate it in online mode. There are several other benefits that will come in the later part. Similarly, PPIRP also, you can float UI. Also, you can float RFAP plan. For the alternate plan, all the possible solutions like floating after receiving the base plan, you are floating an RFIP, you are receiving the AP, you are evaluating the same, you are comparing that with the base plan, and finally, you are arriving at a particular solution or decision. While conducting this process, Interim Finance, that is another service we are providing. Through this, you can publish UI, you can publish tender, and also you can conduct reverse auction to get the best market interest rate, which finance providers they will provide. And the liquidation of asset, if you want to go for liquidation, we offer forward auction service. Through this service, you can achieve the best market price in a competitive and transparent environment. What are the advantages of the platforms? As already we have told, to ensure time-bound activity in a transparent manner, the STQC as an independent government body, they have certified our platform, which ensures that this internet-based platform, the data is secured and kept in Indian domain. It is data exchange is happening in a transparent manner. All the audit logs are kept at any point of time. If a legal dispute happens, we can bring out the audit log with timestamp. Through this process, we are ensuring compliance through automation. We preserve, protect, and maximize the value addition to this process, to this PDA platform. From the security angle, this application or PDA platform, there are certain compliance we need to maintain. There are certain certification we need to go through with application security, penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, IT Act, CBC, and GFR guidance. All these are certified. Okay. The virtual data room, I'm just elaborating this part before going into demo. Whenever you are transferring any document or the required document which are not available in the public domain, the documents are encrypted. When you are uploading the documents are encrypted in nature, and you can assign or you can allocate that who will be the recipient of the document. Only the recipient can download the document with his digital token by decrypting the same. We maintain audit trail. If an unauthorized person or after downloading the document, if that particular confidential document is circulated through any offline mode, we can track that who had downloaded and who has shared. And finally, it is really easy on your pocket. Easy on your pocket means we are offering this service at very, very reasonable rate. Next, the resolution plan. This resolution plan, both CIRP and PPIRP are covered in this particular module. Our main advantage compared to our other competitors in the market is it is configurable. It is configurable in the sense, whenever as an IP you are coming into platform, you can design or configure your own process. without any development. This configurability part is our USP. For a small scale resolution, there may be certain set of documents, there may be certain set of pro forma that will be required. And for a big scale resolution plan, you need to have multifold information which need to be captured from the market when RAs are coming into picture. So here in this platform, the IPs, whenever they're coming into a platform, they can design the entire process. There is no need to, it is that you need not to come back to us. You need to ask us that, okay, you please customize it for me. You can design. I will show you certain screenshot, how it is happening. These are the features like publication of UI RFRP, time-bound bidding, encryption, clarification through kind of WhatsApp communication channel. You can open a channel. Every information, every data that is coming into his platform, the timestamp is there. And the smart template, what I have already explained, that's the personalization part. Okay. Now, the interim finance, again, in the same manner, you can create RA, you can conduct reverse auction to get the best price from the market. You can float tender or you can float UI. We are associated with certain finance service providers like Axis Bank. We can also facilitate or we can also bring certain players while the competition is happening. Now, for the liquidation part, I'm handing over to Mihir to take it forward. Mihir, it's up to you. Please.
Mihir, just before you take over, Mihir, am I audible? Hello?
Yes,
Mihir?
you're audible. Partho, you're audible.
Mihir, yeah, Mihir, before we take over, to the audience, let me introduce our COO, Mr. Pankaj Mittal, sir, who has joined us in this webinar, because this session is so important for us that, as I said earlier as well, two of our senior management member has decided to participate in this webinar. Mr. Mittal is a veteran, is our Chief Operating Officer, who is an industry veteran, having working experience in Tata Steel, Jindal, SAP, and many more. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Partho. And on behalf of M Junction, I'd like to just welcome all the panelists, as also all the participants. So I'd like to hand it over back to you, Partho, and would not like to take any more time at this moment.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Mihir.
Thank you, Partho. Good morning to all the participants and good morning, Sudhakar sir. So, taking forward from what Kaushik has completed, the three services, the fourth service we are talking about is the liquidation of assets. So, this is very critical, and I think this is the last stage where any asset, there is an opportunity to maximize value of any asset which is going to be under liquidation. So, here, the kind of experience we have in last 12 years, we have specialized in selling each and every type of asset, whether it's the power sector or from engineering or iron and steel company. So we have sold assets from all these companies. So that's what the slide talks about. We already have a large buyer base, so you get an advantage of reaching out to these buyers also for this kind of plant machinery also. Similarly, we have different, price discovery practices, different strategies, how to maximize the value. Where, what is the kind of strategy we need to use to get more number of buyers and get the best price. As I mentioned, we have a multi-industry experience and the turnaround time. But we have a dedicated team, who's been doing this from day one. Wait, Partho, am I very low or audible?
No, Mihir, it's okay.
Yes.
Continue.
So as I was saying, we have a dedicated team to do each and every activity. So the turnaround time for giving this service is much shorter than you can expect from a a PDA platform. So what I'm going to show is just some screenshots of our platform and just give you a review also once I explain you the models what we have. So, we are expected to provide a platform. So we have built two models basically. One is the auction only plain vanilla auction model, and there is one which is auction plus model. Now, plain vanilla auction model is just where you are going to list, the participants will come, they'll submit the EMD, they will share the, and we will share the, once the auction is conducted, we'll share the report. But when you talk about the, model two, here, where what we talk about
Mayor,
is
can
our
you be a bit louder, please? I think some people are not able to hear.
Okay. Sure, sir. So is it better now?
Yeah, it's certainly better than before.
Okay, sir. So I'll just repeat in case people have not been able to hear. We have two models basically. The first model, what we're talking about, is the plain vanilla auction platform model, where we just give you the platform and the auction is conducted between the participants you have already chosen through your technical evaluation, and then auction is conducted and we are sharing the report. What we talk about and what we want to basically, you to take the service from MJ is the model two, where we will help you to, prepare the ideal catalog. We help you to find buyers. We, even facilitate buyer inspections who will go on the site. We provide you some intelligence report, how what prices are going on for the commodities which are there in the plant machinery or any kind of item what we are liquidating. We train the buyers, we conduct the auction, and it's again you have a dashboard view how it is working. So whatever the scope what is mentioned here, you can see it in your dashboard view itself. How what is the stage right now for your disposal or the liquidation part of it. The commercials are of course here different, where we are talking about a fixed fee in the model one. Here it's a fixed fee for doing all these activities, and there is a small share of percentage fee for, again, depending on the asset. We are flexible, and as Sudhakar sir also said, we are also focusing on reducing the cost for the IP for concluding the as the liquidation of asset, distress asset in hand. So next is I will show you the few screenshots of how the bidders participate, the buyers who are going to participate. Also, I will show you a couple of screenshots on how you will see when there is an auction running live. So I'll not spend too much time on the screens. So this is the live auction screen, where you can see in the description there can be multiple assets put at a time. So these are again indicative just for demo, and these are nothing related to original data. So Kaushik, just the previously. Yeah. So here you see the description, and you see the auction start price, you see the lead price, you see my last bid price. So these are the basically the features which the bidders will use, and we train them to do this, and it's very user friendly. Next screen, Kaushik. This is the screen which will give the IP. So here you can say the same description is available. You see the time, what is left. You see the start price. You see the lead price. You also see the number of bids which have come so far. So you don't see the name of the bidders who are bidding what price, but you are able to see how many bids have come. So if there are, unique bidders are around 5, 6, you will see 5, 6, whatever for each of the items. And if there are bids that are 50, 60, or 10, you will see the number of bids. Okay, Kaushik, next. So just to give us, a view of how it looks once the bidding starts. So there is a hammer screen. There is a hammer, on the left hand side of the screen. So if somebody is quoted and he's the leading price, he has the leading price, he will be shown a hammer. So that's how it's shown. And again, there are auto refreshing screens where the if somebody quotes price above him, he can see that change in the lead price, and the hammer will go away. So this, as I said, the screen is quite user friendly. Kaushik. So this is the screen of the buyer who has submitted quotes in all the 3 items. So you can see 3 hammers shown to him with the start price, lead price, again his last price also. Okay, Kaushik, next. Yeah, so this is a very unique feature, you can say, where it helps the bidder to decide like in the last 3 minutes. So whenever the lots are entering in the last 3 minutes, the screen color changes automatically and it becomes red. So even if somebody is just focusing and if they are doing something else also, just when the color changes, you are going to know, okay, fine, it's time to bid. If he's interested, so he can give his quote. It will show a message will also show here on the right hand side. You can say, see bid result accepted. So if his bid is not accepted, it will show not accepted, and it will show a reason also why it was not accepted. So as I said, all these features are built in and for our regular auctions also, and the same have been improved for the PDA platform. Kaushik, next please. Thanks. Now, this is again the screen of the bidder itself, and this is the screen once the auction is complete. So once the auction is complete, the person who is the winner, who is the H1, you can say, he can see a hammer even in the closed auction. So if you see in this screen, there are 3 lots. Only in one lot, this person is able to see a green hammer. So he is the leading price, or he is the H1 for this lot. And the other 2 lots, he is not the winner, but he can see what price the auction has closed. So this is again, as we were saying, this is a transparent way of showing what the highest price has gone and whether he was the winner or not. Okay, Ashik, next. Now, this is the dashboard I was talking about. Once the auction is closed, even the IPs are able to see totally how many number of bids have come in each item and how many unique bidders have participated. So again, no names of the bidders are visible here, but the reports which will be sent to the given email addresses, or it's again a system-driven, can say system-driven facility. It's already configured. So once the auction is complete, the email report will be automatically sent to that email ID, or it will be seen in the PDA screen itself for the IP. Okay, Kaushik. So that's it, from my side on the liquidation of assets. And if there are queries, we will take it in the question answer session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mihir.
Yeah. Kaushik, just hold on. I would like to pause here for a couple of minutes for any comments from the panelists.
Partho, I am Dipankar here. Quick comment from my side, given the very in-depth session we have had till date, I would just go back to the opening comments and remarks in the address made by Sri Shukla, where he brought out very clearly the need for a credible platform for distressed assets. And he also spoke about the PDA being kind of a platform for a V-shaped recovery. So that was very well highlighted, and I think following through the other sessions which we have had till now from Kaushik, and now a very detailed session from Mihir, all I can say is to sum up the session till now, that for the V-shaped recovery, the junction should be the platform, the very credible platform which IBBI has brought up, and this should be just the junction we are all looking at to start the V-shaped recovery. That's it from my side, Partho. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mukherjee. Now, Kaushik, over to you.
All right. Thank you. So I'm taking it forward. So this is our PDA platform. This is the initial landing screen where all the services are available. You can offer any one service, or you can offer combination of services. So like I'm showing a certain screen. This is the login screen of the IP and as well as the applicant and financial service providers. So there are 4 services already we have told. You can activate any one of them, or you can go for a combined service. Like you can go for resolution plan along with you can go for VDR. You can only single go for interim finance only. So ideally, what happens whenever you are processing a CIRP or you are processing a PPIRP, at that point of time, virtual data room is required for you to transfer confidential information within like applicants and IPs. So this is the dashboard of IP, a resolution professional, where you can view the number of RFRP issued, UI issued, number of users you are having currently. The VDR space you have already consumed, non-VDR space, plan validity, everything will be there in the dashboard. Now I'm giving the example how it is happening. Previously, already I have told you, it is a configurable. What does it mean? So if I go into detail, we have created a demo screen. Here, we have segregated the entire process into certain sections, like general information, RFRP schedule, pre-offer details, EMD RFRP fee, attachment, insolvency applicants attachment, eligibility criteria checklist, and so on and so forth. Now, this is not fixed. If you feel you want to collect only the attachments or the response from the IP in an attachment format, you can do so. Or if you feel no, all the information I will capture in sectional manner, and system should conduct certain checks and balance. For example, if you are informing the IPs, okay, the applicants, that there is certain attachment you need to submit while you are submitting your offer, you can make those attachments as mandatory. The system will ensure until and unless the applicant is submitting the attachments, the offer is not complete. So this kind of system checks and balance can be incorporated to our platform. So it will reduce your turnaround time. You can complete the entire process in a time-bound manner, since a larger part of your effort is taken care by the system. Like eligibility criteria, you can add a number of eligibility criteria here. You can give the description. While responding to it, the applicants, they will comment or they will comply against each and every eligibility criteria. I will show you the screen for that. Like here I have shown that eligibility criteria is in one section, other terms and conditions, other section. You can incorporate checklist also. So while submitting, they can scroll through this page and they can have the checklist. Okay, we have submitted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 these documents. Okay. Now the item part. So whatever information you want to collect from the applicant regarding their offer, you can configure that. You can design that screen. For a particular line item, you can mention what is the minimum value you're expecting and what is the maximum value you're expecting. There should be a good ratio between their cash recovery, equity, and there may be other line items. So you can mark them also. So when you have already floated the RFRP, the applicants, when they are coming, how they will respond. So this is the response screen. These are the mandatory attachments you have initiated. These are the mandatory attachments you have to submit. So until and unless they're uploading the attachments, they cannot submit the bid. So that is system check. Secondly, the eligibility criteria, I mentioned that something in the eligibility criteria. The applicants, they can comply or they may take certain deviation in it. So once they take the deviation, It will allow them to write their remarks, and if it is required, they can also give their attachment for supporting that claim. All this information, system will generate an auto comparative for you. For the IP, once this process is over, you are opening the offers, system will generate an automatic comparative statement, which will help you to identify which are the clauses that applicant they have not complied. Similarly, like other terms and conditions, same thing can happen. The checklist part, also they can comply or they can take certain deviation. In the price offer part, you have mentioned certain maximum value and minimum value. So whenever they're giving their offer, system will check.
Kaushik,
Yes,
Kaushik,
yes.
can you be a little bit louder, please?
Okay. So in the
It's
price
much
offer
better now.
section, whenever they are giving their offer, based on your configuration, system will dictate the applicant. Okay, your offer price should be in this limit. You can give certain weightage to this offer price also. You can put up the weightage. Okay, for the cash recovery, you are giving weightage of 40%. For equity, you are giving weightage of 60%. So after calculation of the weightage, system will give you the final outcome. So these are the main highlights I wanted to show you. Again, I am summarizing my entire presentation. The system is transparent, it is secured. Data exchange can happen between RA and the IPs in a transparent and secured manner. Audit trail is available. System is configurable. You need not to customize the system. It is flexible enough to adapt your need. And finally, I am giving our colleague number, Saurabh Sharma. You can reach Saurabh at any point of time if you have any other queries or if you want a detailed demo. Thank you. That's Parthuda. I'm handing over to you.
Thank you, Kaushik. Yeah, thank you, Kaushik. Now, the session is open for question answer. So to all the audiences, IPs, if you have any question, please feel free to drop the question in the chat box. We'd be happy to respond to you back. Okay, I don't think there is any question from IPs, but if any one has any query or you would like to see the further demonstration or want to have a discussion with us to know more about the platform, do feel free to connect to Saurav Sharma. This number would be happy to connect you. So before you conclude, I would like to invite Mr. Pankaj Mittal sir for vote of thanks. Sir. He's not audible. Okay, so we have come to the end of the session. So before we conclude, I'd like to highlight a few things. It was the IBBI founding chairman, Dr. Shahu's vision to build a vibrant ecosystem of service provider for insolvency space. The PDA is the second major building block of the ecosystem after information utility. We are indeed proud and also conscious of the high expectation from the PDA. We are committed to increase speed, efficiency through our CIRP, PPIRP, and interim finance functionalities to unlock value through liquidation, auction, and to facilitate transaction through BDR. I hope the session was useful, and also it will help you to understand how this new PDF platform is going to help you to bring the efficiency, to meet the compliance requirement, and also to reduce cost and many other benefits to all the IPs. Thank you very much for your time. Once again, thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again. Goodbye.